Happy Monday. Hi, everyone. I am Moni. This is your host, and this is a space for you to feel seen and speak life and move forward. I hope everyone had a great weekend, but also take a moment today to slow down and think about how as we tune in into this episode, slow down for a moment and listen to what I'm saying today. I'm talking about powered and what kind of power it is embracing your powered. And I want to talk about the power that we have within us, and it's not the loud, out there, flashy kind of. I'm talking about the power that is quiet, is inside us, and only you notice it. So, how do we embrace that power? I wanted to share with you how I was able to embrace that power, that divine, beautiful inner strength. And it's within us, within all of you. And sometimes what we realize with life is that we lose it and we have to reclaim it back because we forgot a little bit of what that power was at once in our lives because of the events are happening, things are changing. So let me say this to you: the power never leave you. Like that power is always within us. And even in those days that we have felt broken, we have gone through so many experiences and have made us even question if we're even worth something, or like worry too much, or when someone make you feel some type of way, like whether you were too much, or sometimes people can actually make you feel like you're nothing, like you're not enough. And you got to remember it's still here. That's you, that's the person you are. That power is how we pick up, how we rise up. How do you decide to rise up from a traumatic event, whether you lost someone in death, um, you experiencing problems in your family, you're getting divorced, you lost you got lost in your relationship. Like I've realized that that is how you show up after. It's what you chose to learn, even when you were uncomfortable. Like sometimes we have to set our boundaries, right? And so while we healing, we don't want to hide. We want to actually heal. So we want to choose growth while we're in an uncomfortable situation. So, and I know it's not easy at times, and sometimes because what we're dealing with, we're weak and we just lose that power. We're tired, we're exhausted, and we don't even know when we lost that power. And I've done that so many times. I think I still do that from time to time. But I do remember throughout my journey, like there was times that in order for me to keep peace with whatever situation I was dealing, or even with the people, I realized that my voice didn't matter, and I have to almost shrink and hold back and get it together so everyone else was good, right? And so while I'm losing my power, I'm pouring into other people and completely empty inside. And like I always illustrate life like a bucket, right? And our bucket, if our bucket, depending on what we deal, what we have gone through in life, there's holes in our bucket. And those holes is how we pour and you give, like you try to have stuff in a bucket that just giving, and you giving your energy, you giving love, and all this is stuff that's coming out of the holes because it's beauty. It's all your inner your inner power that you're sharing with the world. But little did you know that it's getting empty and you're not refilling that bucket. So it's like sometimes you got to patch those holes to gain strength and you gain power. And so um, I noticed that there was days that looked at myself in the mirror and I'm like, who's that? Like, see a sad person, like I didn't even recognize myself anymore. Like I didn't know what I wanted. I never felt happy. And even staring at that person, I'm like, there's no light. Like what dim my light? Like I was trying to be joy and happy and energy. And it's because I realized I was showing up for everybody else except myself, and I was neglecting myself a lot. And it was almost like I was in survival mode. And I forgot what thriving was, like when you going and you're pouring into yourself and you're happy and you're doing things you love. Like I forgot about that. I was just surviving. And so when things actually shifted for me was when I remember that um, feeling all broken, right? Like ready to give up. And I just wanted to run. I wanted to run. I didn't want to feel pain. But I said, no, like, let's sit with this. Like, let's just listen to what's happening, right? Like, meditate. Then I realized that I didn't need it to be someone else's version of strong. People almost portray, oh, she's so strong, she got it, and then you almost had to be that person all the time. And I needed to define that power in my own terms. People want you to show up in some ways, and you realize, hold up, I'm just a human being. I'm one person. And yeah, I'm strong, but that's because God has given me the power. When things started shifting is when I started rebuilding myself. And so I asked God to help me pour my heart into Him. And so please, I need it. You can't do this by yourself. You can't do it on your own. Rebuilding myself, not happen overnight, or through the years, picking piece by piece, um, affirmations, praying for guidance, journaling, saying no. No, I can't. I'm not gonna do it. I can't. I was the person that would never say no. I would always say yes, run. I'm do it. I'm here. I still do, but I have more balance in it, and I don't feel guilty. I don't. I used to feel guilty about saying no, and now I'm like, no, I'm gonna say yes to myself. What do I want to do? I don't need to explain it to anybody. And then so I realized that I was gaining power. I'm like, oh, hold up, wow, that felt good. I said no. I was more like affirm and embracing that, and I'm like, oh, this is power. Oh, this is what we're talking about, powered. And I had to be quiet in my own space and realize that going through the pain, I was actually gaining powered, which is crazy, right? So I realized also I didn't have to play small to be loved. I didn't have to over explain myself to people to be understood. And then most importantly, I didn't need validation. I looked for validation constantly. That you're loved or you're pretty or you're valuable. And from time to time, those things still come. And I realized, no, okay, why am I feeling this way? You got to love yourself more. You got to show up for yourself more. And so, because I realize that power it comes from within me, and it's me who I am. And I need to show up for myself despite everything that comes through my life or goes through. So, we all have a story, and it's that story that has to shape us. And so we decide whether we want to be shaped into this beautiful, bold, but still soft hearted person that you are. So here's a reflection for you. Where in your life have you been called, or you need to step in fully into your power? So think about it. It could be your business, it could be your relationship. Oh, it could be in a space of how you speak to yourself. Be kind, or even honoring your body, like resting, sleep, take your time. So please, I hope that you continue to say, I am powered beyond measured. I trust my inner strength. I lead my life with courage, love, and authenticity. I love you. I'm going to wrap it up and carry this with you. Have an amazing week. If this message spoke to you, please share with the world, leave a review. And remember, you're the investment. This is Moni B. Until next time, and remember, you're the investment, your light, your energy. I love you. This is just the beginning.